Hi everyone, welcome to Monica's Singapore Kitchen. Today I'll be making char siu paos, also known as steamed barbecue pork buns. These perfectly steamed barbecue pork buns are snowy white, fluffy, cotton-like, and cracked at the top. This is my version of the dim sum char siu pao, enjoyed by people of all ages. My viewers have requested for a char siu pao recipe, and it has been on my to-do bucket list for a while. Come along with me to see how they are made. First, we will have to make the filling. For this, we need barbecue pork. You can buy them in the Asian supermarkets, or you can make them by yourself. I have placed a link in the description box on how to make my barbecue pork. This is very easy to make. So what you need to do is to cut them into 1/2 cm cubes. If you want it to be a little bit smaller, you can also use a food processor to cut it into smaller pieces. Okay, our pork has been nicely cut. Let's cook our filling. Then heat up 2 tablespoons of oil. Stir fry minced garlic. So you need to stir fry it until it turns almost golden brown and it releases a garlicky aroma. At this point, then you add the diced big onions. So then stir fry until the onions are almost translucent and a little bit golden brown. So it takes about a couple of minutes or so, yeah, something like this. Okay, so then you know that it is time for us to put in our star ingredient, which is our pork char siu. The pork is already cooked, so what we are doing here is just to heat it up. Then the sauces come in, so I'm going to add char siu sauce, 2 tablespoons of it. We also need to add 1 teaspoon of soya sauce and 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. So mix all these ingredients thoroughly. So then we want to simmer the pork, and for this we need to add 100 milliliters of water. Let the pork simmer for about 3 to 4 minutes to allow the flavors to intensify. Then add in the cornstarch slurry a little bit at a time to thicken it. What we are doing here is to create a pork jelly, which will melt and make our filling very juicy when the paos are steamed later on. I also like to add toasted sesame seeds for texture and aroma in my filling. Now once everything has been mixed thoroughly, just pour it into a container, spread out the filling, and we need to cool the filling first. So just spread it out to cool it faster. So basically the filling has to be done first because we need it to cool down. So while our filling is cooling, let's move on to make our dough. So for the dough, I'm using cake flour, sugar, baking powder, instant dry yeast. So this is the instant variety, you need not bloom it. Milk powder. Adding milk powder to the dough primarily enhances the flavor, texture, and structure of the paos. It makes our paos loftier and more tender. I also use cake flour instead of all-purpose flour because cake flour will result in a lighter, softer, and more delicate texture due to its lower protein content, which leads to less gluten development. This allows for a more tender pao, and this is a characteristic that we desire in paos. So then we add in vegetable oil and a little bit of water, a little bit at a time. So slowly incorporate the flour from the center outwards to prevent formation of too many lumps. So once you have stirred it and you realize that it is a little bit on the soft side, you can add a little bit of flour to make it a little bit easy to manipulate. So all in all, I've added 380 grams of cake flour. So once the dough comes together, transfer it on a surface that has been, flat. It's a flat surface. Then we need to knead our dough. Kneading the dough develops the gluten, resulting in a lighter, more airy pao. So you need to knead it for about 10 minutes. You can also use a stand mixer if you do have one. So then you can see that after 10 minutes, it's nice, shiny and smooth. So at this point, we will just spray some oil onto our container, transfer the dough on this oil container, and then we need to cover it to prevent development of a dryness, a dry skin on the outside. We don't want that to happen, so we need to cover it. Okay, so then we need to rest it for 30 minutes. So 30 minutes later, our dough has grown in size, almost twice the size. Transfer it to a flat surface. We want to roll it out into a rectangle. So the rectangle is about the size that gives you a 1/2 inch thickness. So you continue to roll it until it forms a nice little rectangle. So the thickness is about 1/2 inch. So then roll it into a Swiss roll along the long side. Rolling the dough into a Swiss roll when making these paos is primarily done to create layers, resulting in a more airy texture. So then you need to cut it into 8 equal pieces. This is our filling. I have also divided my filling into 8 equal parts. So take one part of our dough, flatten it into a disc using your palm, and then further roll it into a disc of about 12 cm in diameter, paying particular attention to the thickness. We want the circumference to be thinner than the center. Then we will put in the filling. Then we are going to make something like a tulip fold. So what we have is to pinch the opposite sides together. So our plan is to get it into 3 parts. So something like a bulgy triangle, with 3 corners. Something like this, this is the first stage to seal the filling so that it doesn't ooze out. So once you've got a structure like that, you want to just need to fold the 3 corners together upwards and towards each other, meeting at the center. Then pinch the 3 corners together. Then capturing this pao on my palm, I will seal the seams by pinching the seams. Just seal it. So basically it will look like a tulip. Something like this. So these seams will open up and crack during the steaming process. Put it on a steamer lined with pao papers. Do the same for all the other paos. So I'm going to steam 4 paos at one time. And what is important is that you need to boil the water at very high heat until it is full rolling boil. We want an aggressive steam This is important as this initial push causes the pao to bloom rapidly, causing beautiful cracks to form on top of the paos, so characteristic of the dim sum paos. 12 minutes later, open a little gap to allow steam to escape. This prevents the pao from collapsing. So here we have our beautifully bloomed, open paos. So all the tops are nicely cracked. Let's take one and have a look and see the inside. Okay, you can see that the wrapper is extra light, fluffy and cottony in texture. It tastes slightly sweet. The appetizing filling is moist due to the jelly-like sauce that we have made. The addition of char siu sauce makes the filling aromatic and sweet. This combination of super fluffy sweet buns and the savory salty pork is an ultimate pleasure. I hope you will give this recipe a try someday. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, happy cooking!